Levis comes across as a little cocky. He loves his arm. He loves the gun show, which I hated. The sleeveless shirt's not a good look.
There was a few throws like that, Mike, where I think he was maybe too cool for school during the workout.
That was an absolute turnoff, showing the biceps.
The unfortunate part about the Will Levis situation is the teams have shown we don't need him.
Will Levis was one of the most polarizing NFL draft prospects of the past decade. Some loved him, believing he had shades of Josh Allen as a prospect, while others disliked not just his play on the field, but his personality as well. One of the biggest on-field knocks Levis faced coming out of college was his inaccuracy and trusting his arm too much, which some said led to poor decision-making. Despite this, Levis was still a projected top 10 draft pick, but come draft day, he fell completely out of the first round. And to make things even worse, according to ESPN and their analytics crew, Will Levis had a 99.9% chance of going round 1, and of course, then he didn't. His draft night slide was trolled by many online and became embarrassing to say the least. But how did Will Levis get to this point? Before we go any further, we gotta go back in the past for this all to make sense. Will Levis was a 3-star recruit and the 30th ranked pro QB in the class of 2018. So most definitely not as highly touted coming out of high school like other QBs in this draft class, like Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, who were both 5-star recruits and the 1 and 2 quarterback prospects in their high school class. And of course, Anthony Richardson was a 4-star recruit and the 9th ranked dual threat QB in his class. Levis may not have garnered significant attention coming out of high school for many reasons, but one of them is probably because of where he played. Connecticut, a state, not typically renowned for their high school football. Despite not playing at a high school powerhouse like Mater Dei or Don Bosco, Levis did get Power 5 offers from schools like FSU, UNC, and Cincy, but he ultimately committed to Penn State. There, Levis spent 3 years on the bench behind starter Sean Clifford, who was also drafted in the 2023 draft by the Packers in the 5th round. So in 2021, Levis decided to transfer to a school where he could be the starter. But the problem was there was barely any Power 5 schools interested in him. Rutgers was the only Power 5 school to heavily recruit him until late in the process an offer came from Kentucky. Levis immediately accepted. After practicing with his new school for just 9 days, Will was named the team starter. That season was his coming out party and put him on NFL scouts' radars. That season, he threw for over 2,800 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions while completing 66% of his passes. He also led Kentucky to a Citrus Bowl upset versus number 15 Iowa. In 2022, the following season, he saw his numbers drop down just a little bit, but he still declared for the draft following that season because, he was in his 5th year of college. So after that embarrassing draft slide that was televised on national TV, things did not get any easier for Will Levis. In August, he was listed as the team's 3rd string QB and then missed 2 of the team's 3 preseason games due to a quad injury, which, would have been a key time for him to get snaps to prove himself to this team's coaches. So the regular season comes, and of course, Ryan Tannehill, the incumbent starter and the vet, is the starter, but then he gets injured, and head coach Mike Vrabel says, hey, our 2nd-year QB, Malik Willis, is going to get time in the next game, and our rookie quarterback, Will Levis, is going to get time in the next game. So it seemed like both these guys were going to share snaps. But early on in the game, Malik Willis fumbled, and he was never put back in the game after that. So then Will Levis took control of the offense for the rest of the game, and he shined. He threw for 238 yards and 4 touchdowns. No other rookie QB this season has thrown for that many touchdowns in a single game. Yes, it was only 1 game, but no rookie quarterback has had a better individual game this season than Will Levis. So yeah, maybe those scouts that doubted him and said he trusted his arm too much were right. But not in the way they expected to be right, because he trusts his arm too much and it just results in big play after big play. And that's a thing we see other offenses in the league with veteran quarterbacks fail to do. Will Levis has given this offense a huge spark, and this team overall a huge spark. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins looks like prime DeAndre Hopkins out there with Will Levis. This Titans offense has been so boring to watch with Ryan Tannehill the past few years. They've been very, very focused on the run, and Tannehill just isn't able to generate these exciting plays like Will Levis and keep these defenses off guard, keep guys from coming too low in the box to stop Derrick Henry, backing them up because they're scared of a big play from Levis to Hopkins. This could open up so much stuff for this Titans offense, and for the first time in a while, I'm actually really excited about this Titans team. I'm recording this Thursday morning, and Will Levis is going to have a huge test tonight versus maybe the best defensive end duo in the league with Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt. But if he thrives tonight versus the Steelers defense, I don't see any reason why you put Ryan Tannehill back out there. Because if you got something working with a young quarterback, you got to stick with him. You just got it. What hasn't been working with Ryan Tannehill, he's been the one holding back this team, in my opinion. So if Levis does play well tonight, look out, because the Titans could be a very different team in a few weeks.